Hey Stitches, what is up? What is up? I just got the Give Me Glow Down to Earth Part 2 palette in the mail, and I did some swatchy swatches. Editing Nisha will put the video I made up right here, and I'll scoot over for the video while I talk about this for you. So I did this look. Stay tuned for this look. And my thoughts, I kind of struggled with swatching the mattes, and it's not the palette's fault, it's not the eyeshadow's fault, it's my fault because I've done a couple swatches in some recent videos, but I've never like swatched a whole palette with my fingers out like this before. One of the reasons being was I was trying to be a makeup artist, and I finally went, you know what, let's do YouTube instead. So now I'm putting my fingers in my eyeshadows for the first time, and it's let me tell you, it's turning into a journey. This eyeshadow palette, there was a Give Me Glow Down to Earth Part 1, and it was like a neutral with a pop of color, and this one I would say is a colorful palette with a pop of neutral. That is to say, about 2/3 of the palette are colorful, and then a third of it is neutral. What you consider neutral versus non-neutral is very debatable, and the colors in here, these are some very vivid colors. Some of them are really, really vivid. Some of them are muted, so they can be business appropriate or office appropriate if you so want to wear kind of a little muted pop of color to work. You don't work in an environment where it's acceptable to show up with red eyeshadow or green eyeshadow. There is some camel ochre and some evergreen in here, and I do know navy blue is office acceptable. Once upon a time, Nisha was learning how to be an office girly, and they had to explain it to me. I had an amazing supervisor about that. The mattes, they are really, really pigmented. I don't know if fallout is really that much of a problem because I do my eyeshadow first. I don't see the point in doing my eyeshadow after I just put my face on. I don't get it. I understand that a lot of people need to put the face on or else they don't know where they're going with the eyeshadow, or whatever your reasons. You don't have to explain it. However you choose to do makeup is the right way for you. But me, I put my face on after I put my eyeshadow on, so fallout is a non-issue for me. So the mattes, I think they're pretty smooth. Wouldn't call them buttery or creamy, but they are smooth. They are heavily pigmented. That's that Give Me Glow formula. I've worked with the Give Me Glow formula before. I have the Vintage Rose palette. RIP this shadow. And I go hard for some Give Me Glow. The colors, they're very true to what you see in the pan on my eyelid. I do have a medium fair skin tone, and the shimmers, they are metallics. I think I would consider this one, and this one, I would consider those duo to multi-chromes. Maybe this one, I don't know. She's interesting. She's very interesting. And this one, it goes on like, it looks like a pressed glitter in the pan. It is not a pressed glitter. It is a very flaky, holographic, disco bright shimmer. And if you put it over another shimmer, it'll show up a little thicker. I have it on my inner corners and on my cheeks, but you can like kind of burnish it to kind of spread it around and give kind of a wet look, or you can pack it on with a dense brush and your finger and get a glitter look without the agitation of glitter. And overall, I think this is an amazing palette. I have friends in mind, I think, who would love this palette. Carol, Tatiana, Stephanie, Stephanie, I don't know, Stephanie, are you into colorful eyeshadow? I know you like them. I bet you would look so good, so good with like these rosy browns, this gold area right here. That would look good on you, Stephanie. Sabrina. I know some of you guys. I have some stitchy friends who would really go hard for this palette. I typically gravitate toward more purple, but look, I've never met a color I hated because I am Bozo the beauty queen. But overall, I'd say this is an amazing versatile palette. I love it. I love it so much more than part one. I understand the audience for part one. Part one is like for a neutral girly who loves green too. Part two is for a neutral girly who wants to dip their toes into color, or a color girly who wants to dip their toes into neutral, or for somebody who just goes hard for some freaking Bob Ross colors. And that's who I think it's for. And it's amazing. The formula is amazing. And I can't wait to play with it some more and tell you my final thoughts on it in a future video. But right now, this is a first impressions, and girlfriend is making an amazing impression. Without further ado, let's get on with the look. Hey, what's up, Stitches? So I've already got my eyes primed with my P. Louise eye base in the shade Rumor 01, and we're gonna get into it. And oh my god, I don't even know what I want to do for first here. This is just a first impressions. God, what do I do? What am I gonna do? What would you do? What am I gonna do? It's so muchy. It's the muchiest much, and I'm like not even that hard for browns and greens, and I don't know, there was just something about this that was so attractive to me. Let's do a dark brown on the outside and that turquoise on the inside, because it's summer. It's summer, man. Okay. Oh god, I so want to go into smoked umber, but you know what? Smoked umber would be so good with a turquoise eye. Yeah, let's do that. All right, getting ready. Hold on. Here we go. And going in, she's already pretty extra. You know, it's a lot of pigment. I don't know if you can tell from the swatches, but because I'm not used to swatching, right? I am not used to handling I'm going in with a clean fluffy brush to blend it out. I am not used to manhandling my eyeshadows. You know, I don't put my fingers in the pans very often. I've been doing that more lately because it's like I'm not trying to be a professional makeup artist anymore. So it's okay. But I really didn't know, I didn't realize how aggressive you have to be with the eyeshadows in order to get it on your fingers and make a nice clean swatch on your arm. But that's laid down. Let's go in with the light one right here. Let's go in with this flat, fluffy, Wet n Wild brush into Pale Currant. And the mirror on this is massive, but I'm gonna kind of keep that a little close together. Oh my god, that is so Misty Mountains. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is beautiful. All right, I think I lost a little bit of that smoked umber, so I'm gonna, not putting any extra product, I'm just gonna tap on with the brush I used to apply it in the first place. And I think that brush might have still been a bit damp. My bad. Okay, so that brush that I initially used to apply smoked umber was damp. That is very unfair to the palette, but when I pick it up on a clean, dry, fluffy brush, it applies just fine. I'm sure it would apply to that pinched small fluffy brush just fine as well, but that was a matte shadow I went in with a damp brush. My bad. My apologies to everyone. Go in with my NYX glitter primer before I get too excited. I am so excited. And I'm gonna apply that to the mobile lid. And I really want to jump into that bright turquoise, but I have to. I want it to blend into the smoked umber. So before I just jump right in like I obviously want to do, I have to pump the brakes a little bit and go, you know what? Let's try to just go in with that shade with this brush. Let's try to go in with Cold Water Gleam first with another flat filbert cut brush, and let's see if I can't just and this color, it is a tropical aqua with a gold flip to it. I would call it a duochrome. And you know what? I was right. That is actually blending quite well into smoked umber. And of course, we are burnishing over here. Now going in with that smaller filbert brush, I have to go into Whetstone. You know, Stitches, I am not always the biggest neutral fan, but the texture on this, it's very soft, it's kind of flaky. You know, looking at it, I questioned if it was a pressed glitter. It is not, in fact, a pressed glitter. Oh my god. Like, I have a shade like this in my other Give Me Glow palette. It's a copper shade, and sometimes I'll burnish it around, and then I'll like go on top again and just pack it on with my finger to give that glitter effect without actually having glitter on my eyes, and it's everything. And I'm taking this up over almost up to the brow bone. Now, I usually don't bother with this step, but I'm gonna get a flat, pinched fluffy brush and go into Cliffhanger. And I usually don't bother with a highlight shade, a matte highlight. That's my shade lately, but it's there, so I'll use it. Wow. And going in with a shade that's as close to your skin tone as possible, or even a matte white. And I lost a little bit in translation right there. It will erase or tone down what you did, and I was quite happy with what I had already done, so I'm gonna bring it back up and correct what I just did. That is why pencils have erasers and why makeup has concealer. Just push the colors back up toward the brow bone, and that is the look. I'm gonna go finish up and do my other eye, put some mascara, liner, and all the goods on, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got my lashes, my lips, and my cheekuses done. I used a little bit of Whetstone as my highlight. It's not a blinding highlight. It kind of gives that same effect as the elves in the Santa Claus, that Tim Allen movie where the elves kind of had like these sparkly cheeks, and so yeah, that's the effect it gives. Well, I am really happy with the look I created. I hope it was good for you like it was good for me. And would I recommend this? Absolutely. I'm gonna be doing more looks, and I'll post a video sometime at the end of the week of my final thoughts and the looks that I created with this. All right. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this. And if you haven't heard of Give Me Glow, go check them out. They are so, so good. And I love you so much, Stitches. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share if you are so inclined. I love you so hard. Bye.